What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Leeds United career mode. This is episode number 3, and again, thank you for all your support that you showed on episode 2, where we signed Josh Da Silva from Brentford. We faced Rotherham in the EFL Cup, and we found our fate for the next round, in which we will be facing Brentford, the Premier League team, away at the G-Tech Community Stadium. And that will be in today's episode as well. So, going into our first game of today's episode, taking on Hull City at home at Elland Road. Again, we've been winning games. We're undefeated so far. We've had one slip up this season against Sheffield Wednesday, in which we drew 1-1. But for the rest of our results, they've been pretty good going. Going into this one, feeling pretty confident. Hull City, obviously, they are a top team within the Championship, but they have been failing within real life to challenge for promotion every season. But as you would see, 16 minutes in, Hull City would go 1-0 up, and Elland Road was shook. Yeah, they silenced Elland Road with that goal, but there was excitement building. Indeed there was. We were getting on the attack, we were looking sharper, passing the ball around more nicely. And as you would see, Patson Daka would go ahead and make it Leeds United 1, Hull City 1. And I've got to say, since Patson Daka's come in from Leicester City, he's been a revelation. He's been scoring goals, he's been challenging for that starting spot, and he is our starting striker. Obviously, Patrick Bamford is on the bench, but Patson Daka, with the equaliser, goes ahead and makes it 1-1 before the half-time break. But Hull City, they were looking sharp before and at the start of the second half. And, you know, Medier was called into action. He had to make some saves. He had to make important saves as well. But as you would see, Hull City with a corner, and we would win the ball back. Win it back. Brendan Aronson, could he find someone? Yes, he could. He could find Daniel James. Daniel James running up the pitch, goes ahead, tries to find somebody, and Aronson into Da Silva. Da Silva still looking for his first goal in the Leeds shirt. Hull City keeper goes ahead and makes another important save. But it was another corner for Hull City. This time it wasn't executed to perfection. We found the header to win the ball back into Brendan Aronson. Aronson to Manor Solomon off the bench, and with Manor Solomon's first touch since coming on, he goes ahead and possibly scores the winner. But was it going to be the winner, as Jayden Bogle goes ahead and goes mental on the bench? Well, the answer to that was yes. Manor Solomon, on loan from Tottenham, goes ahead and makes it 2-1 at full time. And I've got to say, we're winning games, but we're winning them far from where we want to be. We want to be winning games 3, 4, maybe 5 goals up, but we're not. We're scraping through at the minute, and some players still haven't got off the mark yet this season. Players like Wilfred Gnonto, who scores, well, could score a load of goals for Leeds, but he just hasn't been on his finishing product. He hasn't got that finishing product in this career mode so far. So hopefully he can hit some form. Hopefully he can score some goals. But again, we've got Daniel James, we've got Daka scoring goals, we've got Aronson and a few others as well. So yeah, we're doing all right. But as you would see, after that Hull City game, we would be going into transfer deadline day. And I said in the last episode that after the signing of Josh Da Silva, that's it for the transfers. Yet we had about 8 million still in the budget, and to be honest, I didn't really feel like making any more signings. I didn't need to make any more signings. Obviously, we've brought in Axel Tuanzebe, Jed Spence. We also brought in Patson Daka. We brought in Josh Da Silva. So 4 signings for the opening transfer window. Obviously, Jed Spence and Axel Tuanzebe, they're going to be our squad players. They're going to be the ones sitting on the bench that can cover. And if anyone else gets tired, they can start games as well. But they're not going to be starters in this team. Maybe if they start growing in their potential and their overall. But at the minute, not so much. And obviously, Patson Daka and Josh Da Silva, the main 2 starters that we brought in for Season 1. As you would see though, going into the second game of today's episode, taking on Burnley, yet no longer Vincent Kompany's Burnley. And I've got to say, first 10 minutes, Josh Da Silva take a bow, yet goal of the season contender on the half volley power shot, goes ahead and makes it 1-0 to Leeds, scoring his first goal for the club and the first goal in this game. I've got to say though, just before half time, Patson Daka had a wonderful opportunity, put it wide, and I don't know how he put it wide, but he did put it wide. And then as you would see, we had a couple more chances that we missed as well. But as you would see, 74 minutes in, Dan James, with the assist from Patson Daka, goes ahead and makes it 2-0. Full time, Leeds United 2, Burnley 0. And again, another 3 points, but a far from convincing performance. And this is the thing with this year's game. And this is what I like about this year's game, FC 25. EA have made it more challenging to win games. They've made the AI better. They've made the overall game just feel a lot better this year. And, you know, whether you're playing Ultimate Team, whether you're playing Career Mode, whether you're playing Pro Clubs, it is just an overall better game this year. And I feel throughout the year, it's just going to get a lot better. So, as you would see then, after that game against Burnley, the next game was the game against Brentford. EFL Cup, third round, taking on Brentford away at the G-Tech. Just quickly though, before we go into this one, I did go ahead and look at the Championship table, and 5 games in, we are currently sitting top of the league, currently level on points with Blackburn Rovers. So yeah, very tight at the top there, but again, still 41 games to go in the league season, because it's a 46 game season. So 41 games to go in the Championship, and yeah, it's a long way away, let's just say that. But going into the third game of today's episode, taking on Brentford, and I've got to say, I was not feeling confident for this one, just because I know of the quality that Brentford have within their attack. But the first half, Brentford never really looked like scoring. They didn't really get on the attack too much. We had 2 wonderful chances, but couldn't take them. And in a game like this, you have to take your chances, whether it be close range, long range, from a set piece. You just got to take your chances. So second half, going into the second half, Brentford were gaining more confidence for us not taking our chances. And as you would see, 76 minutes in, Brian Mbomo would go ahead and put one in the back of the net. But the offside rule, he was offside. Only just, but he was offside. And I was sort of glad that that was called offside, because our defence was just caught out once again. So as you would see, going into the dying moments of the game, it got a bit fiery on the touchline between me and Thomas Frank. It really did. Fights were starting to break out. The 4th official managed to control it though. We were going into a penalty shootout. It ended 0-0. Leeds United and Brentford 0-0. Going into penalty shootouts. Brentford missed their first 2 penalties. We put away our first 2 penalties. Well, as you would see, the turning point in the game was this one here. Aronson tries to go down the middle for the second time in a row, and it's 2-1. Jensen makes it 2-2 from going down the middle, but if Josh Da Silva could put away his penalty, and he could, Josh Da Silva, formerly of Brentford, goes ahead and knocks his old club out. You couldn't write it, could you? Brentford 0, Leeds United 0. Leeds United win on penalties, and it's a massive, massive win for Leeds United. Hopefully that's going to give us the confidence to go on and win big this season. But again, the question is, after you win a round in the cup, who are you facing next? Well, in the 4th round of the EFL Cup, Leeds United would be drawn against Southampton. Yep, it's the playoff final from the 23 to 24 season in real life. Southampton and Leeds meet again, but this time it's going to be at the St Mary's, and you'll see that in the next episode, I believe. So, yep, going into our penultimate game of today's episode, taking on Cardiff City away at the Cardiff City Stadium. Going into this one, coming off the back of a massive win against Brentford on penalties. I had to rotate the squad a little bit for this one, and first 10 minutes, Ilan Melia was caught into action again and making big saves. But later on into the first half, gaining more confidence, feeling a bit more confident, feeling like we could really push on. We went 1-0 up 18 minutes in. Patrick Bamford in for Patson Daka on this one, and I've got to say, Patrick Bamford, when he's been called in, he's done a job, he's been great, and he's been amazing. So Cardiff City 1-0 down, Leeds United 1-0 up. Going into the latter stages of the first half, tried to score more goals, but the Cardiff City keeper just wasn't having any of it. But as you would see, 34 minutes in, our first set-piece goal this season, Joe Rodon goes ahead and makes it 2-0. And you might say in the comments this was a duplicate. Well, it certainly wasn't. It wasn't a duplicate clip, it was a different clip just from the other side. Joe Rodon goes ahead and makes it 3-0 within stoppage time of the first half for a beautiful bicycle kick. And I've got to say, this episode, you've seen two season contenders, or goal of the season contenders, should I say. Joe Rodon's bicycle kick and Josh Da Silva's half volley power shot. Yeah, two goal of the season contenders. But as you would see, going into the second half, I felt like this was a game when we could score more goals and we could score 4, 5 or 6. And as you would see, just after the second half whistle had blown, we would have a corner straight away. And Joe Rodon, of all players, would bag a hat-trick of corners for Joe Rodon. 2 headers and a bicycle kick. And I can't believe it. The first player to score a hat-trick within this series is a centre-back. As you would see though, going into the dying stages of the second half, Anwar El Ghazi would go ahead and make it 4-1. So not a clean sheet, but a convincing 4-1 win. And with that win, keeps us top of the championship. And with big games to go, big games coming up, as we enter the latter stages of 2024, going into 2025, we will be on top of the championship, hopefully. But guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please go down and like and subscribe. We are 39 subs away from 200 subs, and I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. But everyone, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting. I'll see you guys very soon for the next episode. Bye for now.